Welcome into Signal and Circuit Studios, the space where the gear stays warm, the ideas stay sharp, and the board is visually alive.
We live in a world where we are perpetually reachable, constantly connected, and endlessly notified.
Yet, behind closed doors at home, something is quiet and essential sleeping away.
Hello everyone, welcome to Always On, Never In, where we talk about ideas that help us become better communicators, skipping the gatekeeping and cutting straight to the noise that actually matters. I'm Eliza.
And I'm Eds. Thank you for joining us today. In this episode, we're unpacking Shirley Turkle's essay, The Flight from Conversation. Turkle famously wrote, "We sacrifice conversation for mere connection." We will also connect it to our lesson in purposive communication, particularly the nature and elements of conversation.
To help us understand the topic better, we have four wonderful guests with us today.
Please welcome
Ange, Jury, Vincent, and Lenoline.
Hello everyone! Thank you for inviting us.
We're so glad you could all make it today.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. The weather is very nice. I'm doing well. Just finished some errands earlier.
All good here. I'm fine, thank you for asking.
So let's talk about our topic, The Flight from Conversation by Shirley Turkle.
Ange, can you briefly explain what the flight from conversation is all about?
Sure, the essay explains how technology, especially smartphones and social media, has changed the way people communicate. Shirley Turkle believes that many Filipino prefer texting or chatting online instead of having real face-to-face conversation. Because of this, we slowly lose important communication skills like listening, understanding, emotion, and showing empathy.
So, technology makes communication easier, but it also makes challenges.
Exactly. We are more connected through our devices, but sometimes we become less connected emotionally. Also, because we use screen to escape any brief moments of boredom and silence, we lose the ability to be alone with our own thoughts. Without solitude, we struggle to develop self-reflection and genuine empathy for others.
Why are people avoiding conversations?
Jury, according to Turkle, why do many people avoid real conversation?
One reason is that technology gives us more control. When we text, we can think carefully before replying, edit our messages, or even ignore someone. In real conversations, we have to respond naturally and immediately, which can make some people uncomfortable.
That's true. Sometimes people even check their phones while talking to their friends.
Yes, and that sends the message that the person in front of us isn't getting our full attention.
So let's connect it to purposive communication.
Vincent, how is this essay related to our lesson about the nature of conversation?
Conversation is more than simply exchanging words. It's an interactive process where people share ideas, emotion, and experiences. Good conversation requires active listening, respect, understanding, and meaningful responses.
Exactly. In purposive communication, we learn that conversation builds relationships, solves problems, and promotes understanding.
Yes, if we replace most conversation with short online message, we may lose opportunity to develop these important communication skills.
Let's connect this to the elements of conversation. Ange, what's the first important element?
The first is the participants or communicators. Both speaker and listeners have important roles. Communication only become effective when both actively participate.
Jury, what's another important element?
The second is the message. It's not only about what we say, Tone of voice, facial expressions, gestures, and body language help us express our real meaning.
Vincent?
Another important element is feedback. Feedback tells the speaker whether the listener understands the message. In face-to-face conversation, feedback is immediate through words, facial expression, nodding, or asking questions.
That is something texting cannot provide.
Exactly. Messages can easily be misunderstood because we can't always see emotion or hear tone.
Linalyn, how does channel or context fit into all of this?
Channel and context are huge elements. In digital channels, context get completely stripped away. At home, our channel isn't just the words we say, it's the environment, the shared space, and the presence. When we swap real presence for a messaging app, we lost the context of the environment, which makes true understanding much harder.
The last time I had a real conversation without phones was when I spent time with my family. We talked about school, life, and our plans while eating together. It felt nice because everyone was listening to each other without being distracted by notification. Moments like that remind me how important face-to-face conversations are.
I like to stop checking my phone so often, day and night, and spend more time with people in person so I can be focused on what really matters.
Because social media doesn't always show what a person is truly feelings.
Now, we're opening up the front door and walking right into the heart of the home. Let's talk about real life situations. Let's jump right in. Turkle points out that face-to-face conversation teaches us empathy because it happens in real time. You can't edit what you say in the middle of a sentence, and you can't pause a live reaction. But at home, how often are we actually engaging in that? Ange, what does dinner time or family time look like at your place? Have you experienced this?
Honestly, it's a constant battle. Sometimes my family eats together, but everyone is looking at their phones. We're physically together, but we're not really talking. We have this unspoken rule that phones shouldn't be at the dinner table, but it is slide so easily. Someone's phone buzzes, they check it just for a second, and suddenly 3 people are scrolling while chewing in complete silence. We're sitting 2 feet apart, but everyone is in their own separate universe.
That phrase alone together hits so hard. Jury, do you see that happening into your home too?
Absolutely. What I've noticed is that we've traded conversation for connection. Turkle makes that exact distinction. Connection is sending a quick meme across the living room or texting your sibling from the next room to bring you water. It's convenient, but it lacks substance. We're getting the microdoses of contact without any of the actual depth.
Linalyn, what about in your home? How does technology impact actual conversations with your family or housemates?
In my home, I notice it most in the living room. We'll all be sitting at the same couch, watching a movie, but everybody has a secondary screen open, scrolling social media, checking group chats, or playing a game. Someone will try to start a conversation about their day, and the response is just a delayed nod or a passive uh-huh. It's like competing with a screen for someone's presence. You're talking, but you can tell they're only giving you 20% of their focus because their mind is in a digital thread or somewhere else.
Linalyn, what you said about competing with a screen hits so deep. That 20% attention span is exactly what Turkle calls continuous partial attention. When someone gives you delayed nod while scrolling, it non-verbally sends the message that whatever is on the screen is more interesting than your real life day.
Exactly, Eds. And that's what hurts the most. It creates this subtle boundary where you start sharing altogether because you feel like an interruption to their screen time rather than a priority in their home.
Let us talk about the fear of being unedited.
Jury, Turkle talks about how digital communication allows us to present the self we want to be. We can edit, delete, and polish our words. But real conversation at home is raw. You see each other tired, annoyed, or unfiltered. Do you think we'll become afraid of that vulnerability at home?
100% real conversation requires patience. If you're talking to your partner and there's a pause in a real conversation, that pause is meaningful. It's where processing happens. But because we're so used to instantaneous replies online, silence at home feels uncomfortable now. So the second a conversation gets quiet or a bit awkward, someone reaches for their phone to escape the discomfort.
Wow, yes. We've lost the tolerance for boredom and awkwardness. Turkle says if we don't teach our children to be alone, they only know how to be lonely.
That part of the essay blew me away. Because when you're constantly plugged in, you never actually sit with your own thoughts. So when you are with your family, you don't even know what to share because you haven't processed your own thought.
Let's talk about retraining ourselves for real talk.
So, how do we reclaim the living room? How do we move from being always on to actually being in the moment with the people living under the same roof?
For me, it starts with micro habits, creating screen-free zones, not as punishment but as a boundary. Like declaring the dining table or the first 30 minutes after getting home a no phone zone. So we actually greet each other properly.
And accepting that real conversation is inefficient. And that's the point. It takes time, it wanders, it gets messy. But that's where intimacy is built. You can't build a real relationship on bite-sized status updates.
Exactly. It's about choosing to be present even when it's mundane, looking someone in the eye when they tell you about their day instead of giving them the classic while scrolling.
And learning to sit through quiet moment together without feeling the silence. With a screen, genuine connection happen when you feel comfortable enough to just be with someone, unedited and fully present.
Imbalance between technology and conversation.
Does this mean technology is bad?
Not at all. Technology is very useful. It helps us communicate with people who are far away, attend online classes, and work efficiently.
The problem is not technology itself. The problem happens when technology replaces meaningful human conversations.
We should use technology wisely without forgetting the importance of genuine communication.
Right. Technology should be a tool that serves our relationships, not a barrier that replaces them. It's about intentionally using tech to connect when we're apart, but putting it away to preserve real conversations when we're together.
Lessons learned. What lesson can students learn from this essay?
Practice active listening.
Give your full attention when someone is speaking.
Spend less time on your phone during conversation and value face-to-face communication whenever possible.
Remember that real relationship requires effort, vulnerability, and undivided attention.
Before we end, let's summarize.
Sherry Turkle reminds us that while technology connects us digitally, it should never replace meaningful human conversations.
Conversation help us understand other people.
It develops empathy, trust, and strong relationship.
Most importantly, real conversation help us become better communicators.
It grounds us in the world with the people who matter most.
We should remember that effective communication isn't just about speaking.
It's also about listening, understanding, respecting, and connecting with others.
That is such a powerful reminder. Technology isn't the enemy, but using it as an escape route from the people right in front of us costs us more than we realize.
Huge thank you, Ange, Jury, Linolyn, and Vincent for joining us today and keeping it so real.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thanks, Eliza and Eds.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
To everyone listening at home, next time you sit down with your family or your partner, try putting the phone in another room. Step out of the feed and step into the room.
Until next time, remember, don't just be always on, be in. Catch you on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.